32 days into the government shutdown, and two congressional Republicans have emerged as the biggest critics of their own party's handling of it. One of them is California Congressman Kevin Kiley, who has been urging Speaker Johnson to call lawmakers back to Washington. The other, I'm sure you're familiar with.
I'm deeply angry. I'm deeply disappointed. I'm actually to a level of pure disgust that we are wasting the opportunity that we have and not solving the problems. I'm so angry at my own party, and I'm angry at all the men in leadership in the House and the Senate. And I'm like, you guys are weak and pathetic.
And one of those two members of Congress joins us now, Congressman Kevin Kiley from California. So, Congressman, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day because you were on a couple weeks ago when we were talking about exactly the same thing. And it's not like there has been much movement at all. Or is there anything happening behind the scenes that is moving this shutdown to a conclusion?
I mean, you're right. I would have hoped in the last 2 weeks this thing could have been brought to an end. I do think there are some encouraging signs. I've actually had a number of conversations with people on both sides of the aisle that have been constructive, and we're hearing, that things might be getting close to moving somewhere over in the Senate. So I think there's some hope. But I mean, the situation is really urgent right now. We're talking about folks potentially missing their SNAP benefits. The situation with flights has gotten very bad with air traffic controllers not being paid now. All the folks being furloughed, all the services being shut down. I mean, we need to find some way to get out of this mess immediately.
Congressman, I know you have sponsored legislation to get SNAP benefits flowing again. Two federal judges ruled yesterday ordering the administration to resume those payments in some fashion. Why bother sponsoring legislation on this when, as these judges have determined, the administration has the power through contingency funds to get that money out? It seems as if they're withholding the funding precisely to inflict more pain in order to gain some leverage on this issue. Why not call them out on that?
Well, no, my view is just we have to get the benefits to people whatever way we can. I mean, people depend on these benefits to feed themselves and their families. So obviously the easiest way to do that is just be to open the government and then SNAP benefits resume. Or we could pass the bill that I'm co-sponsoring, which would provide an appropriation for full SNAP benefits even during the shutdown. Or sort of as the last resort, the administration is now saying that, according to the judge, they have the legal authority to tap this contingency fund. The problem is that there's only enough money in there for partial payments for a month. I mean, it's really just a Band-Aid that isn't going to get people the help that they need. What we need is an appropriation that will actually allow for the full resumption of SNAP benefits going forward.
Congressman, what did you make of the Great Gatsby party at the White House last night?
I wasn't invited, so yeah, I can't tell you.
Well, I mean, I'm more the optics is what I'm asking. Do you think that was the right move for Republicans to attend a party? Literally, I think there was like a tagline attached to it, like a little party never killed nobody or something like that. I mean, as people are literally on the brink of going hungry.
I honestly didn't see it. I know that there have been, I personally have been careful. I've been doing fundraisers, that sort of thing, while the shutdown has been going on. So I don't know what the party was all about, but I do think that, that none of it changes the fact that people are really suffering right now in a lot of different ways. And it's because of the failure of politicians in Washington, D.C. to do their job. And I think that's why people are just so disillusioned with Congress right now. I just saw a new poll showing Congress has a 13% approval rating, which, puts Congress on par with Putin and Kim Jong-un. I mean, and this is why, because people see these just failure to do our most basic job here in Washington and millions of people having to pay the price.
Congressman, the last time we had you on, we asked about one of Democrats' key demands that hasn't gotten as much attention, which is whether there should be some language in a new CR that makes it harder for the president to unilaterally cut funding that has been appropriated by Congress, which, according to the Constitution, Congress is supposed to have power of the purse. In particular, we asked you about the fact that $232 million worth of energy projects have been canceled in your own district by the energy secretary. At the time, you said, well, something to the effect of, these are hard decisions that have to be made because of the shutdown. We actually looked into it, and this has nothing to do with the shutdown. This is funding that was previously appropriated by Congress. The shutdown is about funding that would be coming in the future. So again, I just want to ask you again, do you think that the president and his OMB director should have the ability to unilaterally cut funding like those projects in your district that has been appropriated by Congress?
Yeah, so the projects, we have looked into that, and I'm definitely going to do everything I can to make sure that funding gets restored.
So, folks, the infighting is getting worse. Trump continues to anger his own party because it's indefensible. It's simply indefensible. I understand right-wing ideology, the free market, personal responsibility, all that. But when you get down to the reality on the ground, it's indefensible. What Trump has done doesn't fit into the old playbook. This isn't the Romney era. This isn't the Bill Clinton, Newt Gingrich hyper-neoliberal era. People are more aware of inequality now, and that includes a lot of Republicans. Not enough of them, but a lot. They see how big corporations get the tax cuts. They see how the rich get the tax cuts. They see how people who commit crimes but are rich get away with it. They're seeing it all. They're seeing the swamp. What Trump is doing right now is the swamp. And on the other hand, they see poor people losing everything. I understand the traditional right-wing argument that the poor people you hear complaining are undeserving. You still see a lot of Republicans repeating that talking point. But more and more, I think because of social media to some degree, that trick isn't working anymore. When Ronald Reagan blamed the welfare queen, the media allowed it, and a lot of Democrats even bought in. Bill Clinton bought into that narrative. It made it really difficult to defend people receiving social assistance. Nowadays, though, not only has the data been clear all along, the vast majority of people who receive food stamps either work, are disabled, or have children. But even beyond that, the number of so-called undeserving recipients is extremely small. Frankly, I think anyone who needs help should get it, regardless of qualifiers. But even if you disagree, the data shows the vast majority of recipients are hardworking and deserving. People see that now. And because they see it, they also see the contrast. The lavish parties at Mar-a-Lago, while their neighbors, family members, and loved ones are struggling to survive. And even a lot of right-wingers don't like that.